ChatGerry, from bridges to blood vessels, why strain rate determines survival number. 1364, VMT Sharp 705, September 23, 2025. Gerald C. Shu, EclaireMD Foundation. Category, Methodology. Medical professionals. Why strain rate matters. Strain rate simply means how quickly change happens over time. In engineering, it tells us how fast a material bends, cracks, or breaks under stress. In medicine, it shows how quickly organs or blood vessels shift from health to failure. Though steel beams and human arteries seem different, both follow the same rule. Survival depends not just on how much stress is applied, but how fast and how often. In engineering, when loads are slow and steady, metals or composites deform gradually. Engineers call this quasi-static plastic flow. But under sudden impact, like a crash or explosion, materials behave differently. They harden, resist more, and sometimes fail in brittle ways. This principle is why cars are designed to crumple in controlled ways, why ships and aircraft can survive collisions, and why engineers talk about crashworthiness. The speed of loading changes the entire outcome. In medicine, the same applies inside the human body. Slow stress, years of high glucose or long-term hypertension act like heavy trucks on a bridge. Each pass leaves a footprint. Over decades, vessels stiffen and calcify. Fast stress, a sudden blood pressure surge or heart attack is like a flood or hurricane. If vessels are already weakened, one surge can cause catastrophic rupture, such as a stroke. The lesson: we must look not only at average values, but at the waves' frequencies and amplitudes, and sudden surges. Low-frequency glucose waves, such as glucose, quietly reshape vessels. High-frequency blood pressure wave spikes strike suddenly, sometimes fatally, such as stroke. My case study: for 20 years from 1990 to 2010 I lived with uncontrolled diabetes. My glucose waves were long-term, low-frequency, but sometime with high amplitude, like constant heavy loaded trucks damaging bridge decks. This produced vessel calcification and stiffness in my brain's microvessels. From 2010 onward, I kept strict lifestyle control. My glucose and blood pressure were far better managed, slowing further damage. In bridge terms, I reduced the truck loads, delaying collapse, but I could not erase the cracks already formed during the first 20 years period. On June 21, 2025, during an emotional dispute over a real estate investment, my blood pressure suddenly surged to 175 millimeters of mercury. Those weakened microvessels in my brain could not withstand the acute BP load, and I suffered a hemorrhagic stroke. It was the medical equivalent of a bridge finally collapsing during a flood or hurricane after decades of hidden weakening. The shared principle. In engineering, strain rate decides whether a structure bends safely or shatters. In medicine, it decides whether organs adapt, accumulate damage, or collapse. In both, chronic stress builds silent weakness. Acute stress delivers the sudden blow. Closing reflection. Prevention must start early. Chronic stressors like glucose waves or weight gain leave permanent footprints. Acute stressors like sudden hypertension can tip a weakened system into failure. The bridge analogy makes it clear: long-term discipline extends service life, but once damage sets in, no late control can fully reverse it. The message is simple: manage stressors before cracks appear, live with consistent lifestyle habits, and keep determination strong. Disclaimer: this content is provided for educational reference only, and does not constitute medical advice. No doctor-patient relationship is created. You may share this summary freely, but it must not be altered, edited, or republished as your own. All intellectual property rights and copyrights for this article and its related materials belong to the author, Gerald C. Shu.